Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisecha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya. It's okay, just play. Nanda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Nishinga Gaura Bhakta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Jai Vishnu Prabhupada Paramhansa Paripurajagacharya Stutara Sri Sima Srila Bhai Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paripurajagacharya Stutara Sri Sima Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. अनंत गरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रीहरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन उत्तर धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि। We're going to sing Jai Radha Madhava. Actually, we're supposed to. We're beginning at 6:30, so it's on halfway. When you play the kartal, I can play the midam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sudanandana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sudanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sudanandana Ramona Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Vanachari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Right. Krishna Hare Hare. Sounds good. Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Gauranga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada,
Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna, Mother Neha, where are you joining from?
I am from Wichita, Kansas, Prabhuji. Kansas State.
Oh, Kansas State. Oh, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Singing. We have a few. So we'll begin Bhagavad Gita with invoking Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to purify our consciousness. So please fold your hand and repeat after me 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritam naranjaiva naruttamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire nashtaprayesu avadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki. Mother Jumur is here from Jacksonville, seems like, and someone from Canada. Okay. So we are going to start from chapter 4.
What text?
Text 35, and we will try to complete if possible. So, if you have book with you, so 35, it starts with, together we can just read one time. Jadgetana punarmoham evam jasyasi pandava jena bhutani aseshani drakshashasatma annato mayi. It's very interesting. Srila Prabhupada, I have the Bengali one also. Prabhupada composed a poem on that. Beside translation, it's a poem. It says, Sheshav Gyaner Katha Bujite Parile, Moho ar habe nahi harile jiti. Thakon se Atmadrik, Dekhe Brahma Samo, Sampurna Darshan se Samparka se Samo. Very sweet. Okay, the translation, Prabhu.
And when you have just learned the truth, you will know that all living beings are but part of me, and they are in me and are mine. Purport. The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul, or one who knows things as they are, is learning that all living beings are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna.
Okay, hold on. Just before you, because we made a question. We cannot just read. We have to actually understand and comprehend. Then it will work. Otherwise, we'll be like reading few life or few years or few, I don't know, and we'll not see the result. So in order to see the result, we have to understand, comprehend. So question was, what are the two results that you will get when you understand this knowledge? Last Wednesday we discussed 3 ways we understand. Pariprasnana, Paripranipatena, Sevaya. So when we accepted Srila Prabhupada as our Shiksha Guru, eternal Shiksha Guru, and we have our Diksha Guru. So when we understand through their mercy, by their mercy, what we have to do in order to retain that position that we have understood. See, the translation you read, when we have thus learned the truth. Learn doesn't mean only hearing. Learn means what? We'll hear, we apply it. Then you will see the result. Learn. The word Prabhupada used, learned. Learned person means what? He knows. He doesn't have to memorize only things. He understood, he grasped it, comprehended it. So this is very important. Because the question raised, I made the question, what are the two results we will get when we understand and serve our Guru? And then I added little, how do you detect that we actually understood? So with that mood, we are going to hear the purport again. Then see if you can catch it.
Start right from the beginning.
Sure.
The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul, or one who knows things as they are, is learning that all living beings are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all living beings are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The sense of a separated existence from Krishna is called Maya. Ma, not, and Ya, this. Something that we have nothing to do with Krishna, that Krishna is only a great historical personality, and the absolute is the impersonal Brahman. Factually, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, this impersonal Brahman is the personal effulgence of Krishna. Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of God, is the cause of everything. In the Brahma Samhita, it is clearly stated that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, the cause of all causes. Even the millions of incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansions of Krishna. The Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that Krishna loses his own separate existence in his many expansions. His thought is material in nature. We have experienced in the material world that a thing, when fragmentally distributed, loses its own original identity. But the Mayavadi philosophers fail to understand that the absolute means that 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, and that 1 minus 1 is also equal to 1. This is the case in the absolute world. For want of sufficient knowledge in the absolute science, we are now covered with illusion, and therefore we think that we are separate from Krishna. Although we are separated parts of Krishna, we are nevertheless not different from him. The bodily difference of the living entities is Maya, not actual fact. We are all meant to satisfy Krishna. By Maya alone, Arjuna thought that the temporary bodily relationship with his kinsmen was more important than his eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. The whole teaching of the Gita is targeted towards this end. And a living being, as his eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna, and his sense of being and identity apart from Krishna is called Maya. The living entities, the separate parts and parcels of the Supreme, have a purpose to fulfill. Having forgotten that purpose, since time immemorial, they are situated in different bodies, as men, animals, demigods, etc. Such bodily differences arise from the forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. But when one is engaged in transcendental service through Krishna consciousness, one becomes at once liberated from this illusion. One can acquire such pure knowledge only from the bona fide spiritual master, and thereby avoid the delusion that a living entity is equal to Krishna. Perfect knowledge is that the Supreme Soul, Krishna, is the supreme shelter for all living entities, and giving up such shelter, the living entities are deluded by the material energy, imagining themselves to have a separate identity. Thus, on the different standards of material identity, they become forgetful of Krishna. When, however, such deluded living entities become situated in Krishna consciousness, it is to be understood that they are on the path of liberation, as confirmed in the Bhagavad. Muktir hitvanyata rupam sarupena vyavashtitihi. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as the eternal servitor of Krishna, Krishna consciousness.
Very good. So, how do we see that we are situated with this true knowledge through Guru? How do we see? So we have to think first. One is, the Sanskrit said, Jad Gyatta. After you know this, no punarmoha, again no more illusion. Evam Jasyashi Pandava. As you are in illusion right now, again you will not get into illusion. How is that? So what has to transform within us? What is the key that we can actually be situated in that platform? To see that two things, that everybody belongs to him, belongs to Krishna, all the soul. So when you see a person, what do you see?
Part of Krishna.
First you have to see the soul. Whether it's animal or human, first Prabhupada said we have to see the soul. Then we have to see the super soul causing this body to be changing. Otherwise, soul cannot be here by himself. First. Second, that Maya created this body for that soul. Everybody understand that point? This is very crucial. So when you see a tree, you don't see the tree first. Even the tree is there. But we have to develop within us that there is a soul. Otherwise, these 6 changes, little seed to sprout and bigger tree, cannot take place. So first what we should think? Soul, the seed, the soul has to be there. Prabhupada said to Jogeshwar Prabhu, you have to start seeing this. The soul is there first. Then without super soul, nobody can sanction him to grow like this. Then you see Maya created this tree, body. So let's start developing this from today. Whenever we see a person or any tree, any plant, anything, we should see the soul, not the Maya creation first. First the soul. Because Jogeshwar Prabhu asked Prabhupada, what is the difference between you and me? You are a human being, you are my spiritual master, and I am an American body. What is the difference in the vision? Prabhupada said, what do you want to know? He said, wow, what do you see here? Prabhupada said, I see the soul and I see the super soul, and Maya created a body by super soul sanction. Not Maya can create anything. Super soul has to sanction for that soul. Then Jogeshwar Prabhu said, oh, but I see the tree. I didn't see the soul. He said, that is the problem. So we have to start changing our view from now on, literally. Then we will start actually seeing Krishna everywhere. Not that you take a photo you like, that beautiful eye, and try to paste it in everything. Not like that. First, we have to be attracted by the philosophy, guna, quality. Then we will start seeing that Krishna here. That beautiful blue boy that we are attracted, we'll start seeing it in the tree, in everything. But if we just start posting it instead of like analytically study that actually soul cannot be existing without changing. Why things are moving? Because the soul, dead matter doesn't move. Dead matter does not reveal what the dead matter is. Everybody understand that, right? Dead matter cannot reveal what the matter is because there is no conscious. There's no free will. Free will means conscious, evidence of the soul, spirit. So this is first. Second is that if you engage in devotional service, then it is possible that you will not fall down again. So everybody understood? These 2 points, very important. Jena bhutani asheshani, all living entity, ashesha means no more shesha, not remaining anymore. Drakshashashi, to see, atmani atimai. You will see them as spiritual, you will see them as mind. Mother Neha.
Yes.
Can you tell me what are the 2 things you're going to take that you will never fall anymore? Krishna is giving this clue. Give me some, whatever paraphrase you understood. Or Mother Shreya Kari, Devidasi, can you say these 2 things? Anyone from the Zoom?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata. Nice to see you.
Yeah, a tree or a human, I will look at the soul, not at the material aspect, and devotional service, perform devotional service, so that will not make me fall down.
Very good. Very nice. You got the key point. First thing, try to see the soul. Whether you see a human or animal or tree, it doesn't matter. Nothing can move. Nothing can transform or anything. The matter cannot move. Matter doesn't reveal. It is the soul revealing through the matter. So we have to start seeing the soul. Then automatically we will see the super soul is sanctioning. Then the matter is moving. Because matter doesn't move. Matter doesn't do anything. It's dead, dead, dead. Dead means dead. So that's the first. And second point she said, yes, engagement in devotional service. Mother, do you know Dwarkadish also there? Very nice to see you all. Okay. So now let's go to the next verse. So this is the first verse, 35, today's subject. The 2 things Krishna says, if we get this, then we'll never fall down. Very important, isn't it? We can do this every day. We are doing this anyway. We are seeing things all the time. Only just we have to change our vision. So that's one, and that service. We should chant and do practical service. Prabhupada says something very nice. So we go to the next verse, 36. Would somebody like to read the translation? Mother Neha, would you like to read the translation, and after we finish the sloka?
Where are we, Prabhuji?
Okay. Okay. We are going to read the sloka together, everyone. Api ched ashi papebha sarvebha papakrita tamaha sarvam gena plavenaiva brijam santarish ashi. Yes, mother.
Even if you consider to be the most sinful of all sinners, you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge. You will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries.
Very nice. Now, before you go to purport, I made a question. So while you reading the purport, see if we can catch the answer. Question is, Srila Prabhupada writes, this material world is sometimes regarded as an ocean of nations. You know, nations means illusion. What is illusion? That which is not connected or giving confusion. And sometimes as a blazing forest. What does this metaphor explain? What is nations means? This ocean of nations. What is ocean of nations? Well, we're going to hear it. And then another question I put it, what does this metaphor explain? Then why is it that where we are is not important? This is so good. Even though we made the question, but I was very happy when that question came in by Prabhupada's mercy. But where we are looking is important. In other words, it doesn't matter where you are. You are in hell or heaven or America or India, doesn't matter. Poor, rich, doesn't matter. What you're looking in life, what you're focusing is more important than where you are situated. So with that note, see if we find the answer. Yes, mother, continue.
Purport. Proper understanding of one constitutional position in relationship to Krishna is so nice that it can at once lift one from the struggle of existence, which goes on in the ocean of near-science. This material world is sometimes regarded as an ocean of near-science and sometimes as a blazing forest. In the ocean, however expert a swimmer may be, the struggle for existence is very severe. If someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the great survivor. Perfect knowledge received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the path of liberation. The boat of Krishna consciousness is very simple, but at the same time, it is the most sublime.
Very nice. Everybody understand the word sublime means?
No
I
problem.
mentioned it.
What does it mean?
Sublime, because I thought I knew, but actually I didn't know. Sublime means, it's a scientific terminology that when you see something, it's a substance, something, it's solid. To make it evaporation, you have to first semi-solid. You mix some water or liquid, something. Then it becomes more diluted, more liquid. Then you heat it up, it starts evaporating, burning everything into dust, to the ashes, and then disappears. So from solid, semi-solid, semi-liquid, liquid, evaporation, the whole process, one word is sublime. In other words, the Prabhupada picked up this word. Of course, he went to English school in Calcutta, Scottish Church College, but still, this not everybody picked that word. A so sophisticated word means does not matter where you come from, does not matter what condition you are. You take this Krishna consciousness, you will shoot to transcendental. It's so sweet, that word. And I see that Prabhupada used many, and also in his lecture. Okay, so the first metaphor we're going to discuss a little bit. First metaphor is ocean, Bhava Samudra, ocean of nations. We should remember that sloka Krishna spoke in 11th canto. Nideham aiddam sulabam sudurlabam plabam sukalpam guru karnadharam. Krishna himself gave this to Uddhava, that in order to cross this ocean, what do you need?
In a good boat.
You need a good boat.
Captain.
Okay, now you put this very interesting point. Some people, if some people don't have a money to buy a boat, they say, we don't care, we're just going to swim it out. Will they able to cross?
The sink part away.
Correct. They will never be able to cross the ocean. So who are they? They are called materialists. They're trying to solve the problem of life by, patching the more money or another new car or somewhere, medicine, or somewhere. I'm not against that, but I'm saying the karmi way to remove the problem of life is like trying to cross the ocean by swimming. Eventually death comes, they fail. So this is not a good, intelligent way of crossing the ocean. Now, there are some people who has a little canoe. Canoe is like a small boat. Now, if they try to cross, who are they? They are called Gyani. They are not interested for bhakti. They are not interested for devotional service. They will just do on their own. They don't want to accept the authority or follow someone. They want to do. There are many, millions of people in this world are like this, in every religion. They're just doing on their own. I follow what I follow, that's it. I don't need anything. Are Baba, why are you trying to go by following this? Why are you trying to go? That's the question. You're trying to solve all the problem, but you have a little boat. A big wave comes, then what happened? Finish. You are crashed. Well, you are better than swimmer. Swimmer is really useless because shark is there, all kinds of will be eaten. But it's better, but you cannot cross. So Krishna gave the solution. Nidham aiddam sulabam sudurlabam plabam sukalpam. This human body is the perfect boat. And the knowledge is also another boat. It's a very unique. So this metaphor, so it is not important where we are. Now I'm coming back to the other one. This is very important to understand this. That ship means utilize the body. When you say big ship, the devotee, bhakti means big ship. What is ship means? You have to have a captain. Ship is not running. Did you ever know that ship goes without captain? No. Who is captain? Guru. This is a very wonderful example Krishna gives, that we have to have a guru, captain. And if you have a captain and ship is there, is that enough? No. You need a favorable wind. If there is no wind or unfavorable, wild storm, you're not going, crossing. So favorable wind is compare Krishna Katha, hearing. You follow? You have a guru, captain, you have a boat, this body, and you following, this body is given to serve guru, but you are hearing also Krishna Katha, it's favorable wind. Then possible you will cross all those obstacles. What are the, there's 1858, it says that mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. That if you remember me, your false ego will not act. See, this is very nice. Krishna says, secret, 1858, Bhagavad Gita. He said, if you think of me, if you hear about me, right now we are hearing, means false ego is not there. According to Krishna, you have it? Can you read the translation? What it says?
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
Oh, Krishna, scary. So Krishna says, 1858, that if you are conscious of me, you'll cross. So taking guru is not enough. Getting favorable wind is not enough. I have to be conscious that I have a guru. Am I following? I should be thinking, am I following my guru? Am I chanting? Am I worshipping Prabhupada, Guru Puja? Am I paying obeisances 3 times a day minimum? Out of love, not just duty. Am I chanting? Chanting means following Guru's instruction, Prabhupada said, number 1. Favorable wind means hearing about Krishna. So if I am conscious that I am conscious of, what am I conscious of? I am conscious that I am conscious of Krishna. Then Krishna says, you will cross this. Very nice. Now, the second point I made. So it is not important where we are, but important where we are looking. Why did I say that? Because here is very important. Somebody will say, well, Prabhu, for you is very easy. You can sit down and think of Krishna. But I have to work day and night, I have to cook, I have to do this, I have to do this. You can say that. But there is a secret in this verse. He said, look at this. Why did no Indian became Krishna conscious, even though Prabhupada said he tried with so many of his friends? They're not interested. And Prabhupada even said, some Indian gentleman, his close friend, he said, what they will learn by reading Bhagavad Gita with you. We don't want them to become beggar. We see the sadhus, they're like beggar here. This is how Prabhupada got very disturbed hearing this from his friend. Prabhupada said, I tried with so many of my friends. None of them want to give their children to be educated in Krishna consciousness. Now they see, oh, Western is taking, maybe we missed something. Of course, in India now is a big revolution, ISKCON. Because of that, Prabhupada, because of Western influence, being honest to you, because of Western influence. So this is very important. Why it is important? Because in the picture of Back to Godhead, you see this Indian, they were actually higher than Western civilization. It's true. They are more of a religious and sattva-gun. And American civilization, when Prabhupada came, it was in tamo-gun, ignorance and passion. No sattva-gun, very rare, very rare. But there is a key point. The key point is that Indian were in sattva, goodness, but they're looking at the sense gratification of passion and ignorance. I hope everybody get this point. This is so important that they are in India, they are doing rituals and they are seeing the sadhus, Himalaya, Ganges, holy dhams, everything is there. But what they're looking for? They're looking for passion and ignorance, sense gratification. But when Prabhupada came here, hippies, where are the hippies? They are in passion and ignorance. They are not in goodness. Smoking, sex, love, whatever they say those days. But they are looking for something higher in spiritual life. I hope we remember this point. The hippies, when Prabhupada met, they are in goodness, no goodness, passion and ignorance, but they're looking for something higher. Everyone said that. They're tired of this life. They're looking for higher. But in India, they are connected with the spiritual, but they're looking for sense gratification, passion and ignorance. They want money and sex and all this. So what happened? Srila Prabhupada gave them this Krishna consciousness, they grabbed it. So boat is essential to come out of the ocean. But how is going to come out? How are you going to cross this? Where are you looking? We got it? So first level is that we need to have a human body to understand spirituality. Okay. Second is, after we got human body, we need transcendental knowledge in human form. So Krishna is talking about that here. Now, ISKCON is a boat. You can metaphor. Prabhupada also said that. ISKCON is a boat, where Srila Prabhupada is the captain. All of us come on a boat and march towards Krishna. But there is a key point to find out these two things. I hope somebody can give me feedback from the audience that, so it is not important where we are, but important where we are looking or focusing. Can somebody from the audience just tell me what are the things that I mentioned about that Western people took up Krishna consciousness. Now India is taking, but at early stage, India was not taking. Why? We can learn from it so we can position ourselves. Somebody would like to share? Sarvatarak Prabhu.
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
I offer my humble obeisances to the audience. Yeah, actually, you mentioned very important point that I never thought in my mind. Like wherever if we look for the good things mean spirituality, Krishna consciousness. Like Indian people was watching Westerner like mode of ignorance and other bad things. That is why they
Sanskarification. Say it in
that is why
slang English. Sex, money. That's all they are looking.
Women.
Prabhupada said that.
become,
Women. Yes.
yeah, they become like they've lost their actually the real identity. They're like, though they are living in the bank of Ganges or the Himalayas or different holy places, but still they couldn't get the Krishna consciousness. And Westerner, since we come here, then we see how people are mode of ignorance, but they are looking for something higher. That means in Krishna consciousness, and they immediately they catch, though they are living in the hellish place, but still they're thinking the spirituality. That means they are living in Vrindavan. And mercy of
Very good.
Prabhupada, actually, like all Western people are getting, and now Indian people are getting. Though,
Very good. Very
so
good.
you
You
so
got
much.
it. I hope everybody got it. This is very nice point. Whereas early disciple of Srila Prabhupada were hippies. It's true. We're in a mode of ignorance, as we discussed, breaking all regulative principle. There was no principle. If you look at the four regulative principle, they are the expert of breaker at that time until Prabhupada came. And they did. But it changed. Okay. So first level is we need to have a human form to understand spirituality. We should remember, we all got human form. Second is we need transcendent knowledge, and we need to focus where we are going. Not just taking initiation and we think we are done. No, we have to go to next level. Okay. Next verse we are going to go 37. Let's see, we all can read together 37. Where is the sloka? Okay. Jathe dangsi sambindahu agni bhasma shat kurute arjuna jnana agni sarva karmani bhasma shat kurute tatha. Somebody would like to read from the audience?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Mata, go ahead.
Purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Mata,
Perfect.
just hold on one second. I'm going to say the question. I made a question on this sloka also. Question is, so while you read, we can catch the answer. Srila Prabhupada said, perfect knowledge of self and super self and of their relationship is compared here into fire. How does knowledge fire transform us? That's the question. So you think fire as a transforming. The Prabhupada did not say the knowledge is just knowledge. You think knowledge is like a fire. You know, fire turn object to ashes or something. Iron will become same quality, something like that. So how does knowledge fire transform us? See if you can see it while Mother reads it. Yes, go ahead, Mother.
Perfect knowledge of self and super self of the relationship is compared here into fire. The fire is not only burns up all reaction to impious activities, but also all reaction to pious activities, turning them to ashes. There are many stages of reaction: reaction in the making, reaction fructifying, reaction already achieved, and reaction priori but knowledge of the constitutional position of the living entity burns everything to ashes. When one is complete in complete knowledge, all reaction, both priori and posteriori, are consumed. In the Vedas, Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad 4.42, it is stated, Ube Uvaisha Ete Tarati Amrita Sadvi Asan Saduni. One overcomes both the pious and impious reaction of work.
Very good. Thank you. So in this verse, Krishna gives example to illustrate how this transcendental knowledge purifies us and compare that knowledge as fire. Question is, when firewood comes in contact with burning fire, what happens? You can imagine, it's a metaphor Krishna is giving. So here, Sri Krishna is referring how a person is not karmically bound. Some point Sri Krishna is mentioned in 4.19 previously, I remember, that here Sri Krishna is saying that person who has acquired knowledge from spiritual master, Guru, has become like an inner fire. It is not outside fire. This is very important. Not like I will have a comfortable life, bodily or mentally. No, it is inner fire. We have to catch that word. Inner fire, that fire burns everything inside, not outside. That's why it says, Gyanagni Sarva Karmani. The word Gyana Agni, I'm looking at it. Gyana Agni Sarva Karmani. Bhasmasat. It burns all the sinful reaction. So all the karma which we do is like a seed. You know how the seed is formed? Desire. I have an attachment. It's a seed. But a good analogy, if you burn the seed, and when time comes to fructify, it gets the fertile ground, it doesn't fructify anymore. Krishna is so scientific, you know, the way Krishna is explaining, very scientific. So when the seed is burned, it does not give any result. So even in devotee's life, why Karma Yoga is promoted by Krishna to Arjuna, even though Arjuna said, what if I'm qualified for Jnana Yoga? Jnana Yoga means no more karma. Just do some severe austerity, study philosophy, no more fighting in the war, or no more any activities. Krishna says, no, you should do Karma Yoga. So why Karma Yoga? Because you have a psychophysical nature. You're carrying impression from previous life. You are born with a Kshatriya, you're going to fight whether you like or not. Either you fight for me or you fight for my Maya. You cannot stop fighting. This is called psychophysical nature. We cannot stop it. You follow? So Krishna says to Arjuna that if you engage that psychophysical nature, whatever the inclination, I like to make money. Go ahead, make money for Krishna. I like to enjoy, like, okay, you offer it. You can enjoy. It's so wonderful. Such a scientific way, Krishna says. Now, two examples convey these 2 points progressively, I find. First is that there is an ocean, but we get out of the ocean. Yeah. First, we get out of the ocean. Similarly, the material world is a place of misery. And spiritual knowledge offers us a way to get out of the material existence. Second, one talks about what is inside us, that is our own anarthas. What is inside us? All these seeds, desire, what? Anarthas. Other day we discussed, if you remember, that Guru does not come in between you and Krishna. Guru enters in between you and Krishna to remove what is blocking between you and Krishna. I hope everybody remembers that. Guru is not blocking, coming in between, because everything we do through Guru. So we say, oh, Guru is in the middle between Krishna. No, Guru is not in the middle. Guru enters there just to remove everything for you so you can serve Krishna. Such a nice analogy Guru Krishna gives. So here it says, is anartha, our own bad karma. What is anartha? Something unfavorable to bhakti. It is reaction are also stored in seed and other form. So they also get burned out. So when go out of the ocean, water still remain. But this example of firewood conveys that firewood itself burns out completely. So like that of karma gets destroyed, which is supremely auspicious. I hope everybody understood. What I meant, like you keep on chanting. You are only honoring prasadam. You are not doing anything without offering Guru Krishna. But you may not see like what is the reaction, what is the result. You may not be able to see. But just like the, Krishna give the example, just like the wood, you don't have to try to keep on burning it. It burns, once it is started, it burns automatically until the entire wood is finished. You notice that, I'm sure. When you put a little fire on the log, one side, and it will, if you keep on going, it will go. You don't have to like keep on lighting fire every place. Similarly, Krishna consciousness, once you start and you keep on going, and it burns out entire impression storage in the heart. Heart is for both. Heart where your love for Krishna is there, false ego also in the heart. All this bad karma impression also in the heart. In one sense, Karma says, go with your heart. Well, which part of the heart? Not the bad part, then you will be again entangled. Go with the heart means that you have to know that you have a love for God. You go with that one. Sthayi bhakti. So that's good. So here we see there is no good karmic bondage also. So one does not have to come back on goodness. Spiritual knowledge will take us beyond the transcendence. Okay, can someone just give me one little feedback? What did you understand from this sloka, from the audience? Mother Dandakesh, would you like to share?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. Anyone would like to say, what did you get from this verse? We discussed about the knowledge is like a fire, will burn. Burn what? You give me.
Knowledge burns to ashes all reactions
Of our bad karma. We may not see it, but we have to keep on going because it's burning automatically. We may not be able to see it. We don't need to see it, but it's working. This is Krishna's assurance. Very good. Param Karuna Prabhu, you have a raised hand. Oh, disappear. Okay, we go to the next verse together. 38. Nahi kenena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsayam yoga siddha kalena atmani bindati.
Sorry.
Translation.
In this world,
Now I'm going to give you the question before you read the translation because it's from the translation. So the question I made that Srila Prabhupada translated, in this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has achieved this enjoy the self within himself in due course of time. Why I put that question, I tell you very frankly. Some devotee asked, also I thought, why not we get the spiritual happiness now? How long do I have to? What can I do to speed up? So that if I relish this spiritual happiness, then I will not worry about material happiness. Can I speed up to make it happen? That's the bottom line. So I word it in a way How and when does one enjoy this knowledge within themselves? Srila Prabhupada translated in due course of time. What is due course of time mean? Can I speed up the process to enjoy this knowledge right now? Then I'll never fall down. Done. Okay, now we are going to hear the translation.
Purport.
Now read the translation one more time.
In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. One who has achieved this enjoys the self within himself in due course of time. Purport. When we speak of transcendental knowledge, we do so in terms of spiritual understanding. As such, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. This knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service. And when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace are culminated in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, this is very nice. So we need to talk a few minutes for this. So here, Sri Krishna given two examples. Previously, he gave the boat, and the second about fire. So first we talked about the boat details. Now we are talking about fire. Krishna is giving few sloka, you will see. Now he's giving generic principle here after giving specific example that nothing is as pure as transcendental knowledge. Nahi gyanena sadrisham. Very nice. So what is this knowledge referring to? That's the question. What is that knowledge? Do I have it? Am I getting it? If I don't know what it's supposed to be, then how do I know? So this knowledge is knowledge about soul, connection of Atma with super soul. It is not about memorizing the sloka or doing things in relation to Krishna consciousness. No, it is directly about the soul and connection of the soul with super soul. That Krishna has not yet specifically told, he's talking about the result. Sri Krishna will talk more about this knowledge in 7th canto, 7th chapter and 9th chapter when we come. Knowledge about absolute and most confidential knowledge. So Krishna will talk about this more and more. Krishna is talking about the knowledge which one acquires by practicing of spirituality, by practicing Krishna consciousness. Now, practicing the process which spiritual master gives us. Why we chant 60 now? Because Prabhupada told us. Prabhupada said, everybody. This is the first instruction of all guru, he said. Sri Krishna again talks about this knowledge in 9th chapter, Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. Same thing he's going to say. It's the most confidential knowledge. Now, here the word Kalena Atmani Bindati. If you look at that word, if you break down, one becomes delighted. Bindati means happiness. You delight, like you chewing the gulab jamun, like this is called Bindati. Yeah, boils down to. One becomes delighted in oneself. You are happy within yourself. You don't need anything from this world. It's such a wonderful. Over a period of time. So how does this delighting in self happens? That's the question. This happens because the soul is by nature joyful. This is a key point. I want everybody to remember. The soul, Krishna is saying, you are eternally actually joyful. This suffering or sadness, morals of this world is not soul's. Soul is builder, mind is creating, and we are seeing through. I put a red glass, everything is red. I don't like it. It's not everything red. It's just that glass I am seeing through is the problem. So this happens because the soul is by nature joyful. Soul's joyfulness is naturally connected with Sri Krishna. So Kalena, over a period of time, as you keep practicing devotional service, we start becoming aware of our spiritual identity. And our devotional activity in connection with Sri Krishna, as we connect more and more with Sri Krishna, naturally we become more and more joyful. Natural condition will come. Now I'm looking at Prabhupada's purport. He says, when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. Normally, we look, our mind is agitated, mash, I want this, I want that. But as we discussed, internally does not mean mental. I want everybody to understand this. This is a very crucial point. When Krishna says internally doesn't mean in your mind, not mental. Internal means spiritual. So when we calm the mind down, we can see deeper, just like there is a river. Below the river, there is a river bed, solid ground. But when you are in the water and it's very deep, you cannot see that there is a solid ground. What is that metaphor? The mind is that water. Oh, I'm going to sink, I will die. But there is a solid ground under the water. So below mind, there's a Krishna. So when a pond is restless, we cannot see the surface of the pond. But when pond becomes, what is that verse? Jada jale chandramasa kampadis tat kutogana. Jale chandramasa. The moon is reflecting and you see the moon is scattered because of the ripple. And we are nervous of our life. So water in the pond indicate our material level. And bottom of the pond is like spiritual level. You follow the metaphor? Okay. So when mind is agitated, it is like a water in the pond is having a ripples. That time we cannot see what is below water. But the process of yoga, bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness, what happens? He says, Tat Sayam Yoga Samsiddha. Very sweet verse Krishna gives. Krishna actually, this is like a love song. Whole Bhagavad Gita is a love song if you really think. By practicing Krishna consciousness, we gradually become accomplished. Then mind becomes calm. It is like a water becomes steady. When water becomes steady, we can see below and within. Below means within. Below mental. What we'll see? Then Kalen Atmani Bindati. That word Krishna mentioned, we start relishing happiness within. Now, word Kaleno is significant. Srila Prabhupada translated Kaleno, what did he say? In due course of time. If you look at the word to word meaning, synonyms. Now, why did he call due course of time? Why did Prabhupada put it? Kaleno, you can put actually any other translation. I love the way Prabhupada sometimes put those words. It has a deep meaning. Why? Why did he call due course of time? Why not say you can speed up? Why due course of time? Means there is a time required. What does that mean? We cannot artificially, remember this, accelerate things. A flower from bud form to fully blossom form will go in its own course. Now, if you say, well, I'm going to water, flood the ground of the rose, so it will bloom tomorrow. No, it will not bloom tomorrow. Why? It has its own time for maturity. This is such a wonderful the way Prabhupada put it. He said, in due course of time. I was like almost 10-15 minutes I was chanting after hearing that word. It's like, okay, in due course of time, whatever it is coming. So we have intense desire. I wanted to become pure devotee today itself or tomorrow, maybe maximum. But today I will chant 64 rounds. By the time I complete 64 rounds, I will become pure devotee. No, it is not going to work like that. I hope everybody understand that. It is not going to be like that. It has its own time. Every single Mahamantra we are chanting, every single service in the temple we do prasadam distribution or honoring prasadam, cooking prasadam, whatever, I mean, bogo, not cooking prasada, cooking bogo. I want to instantly spirituality like a press button, button, and that's it. It's open, elevator open, I'm done. No, it is not like this. My consciousness should become that of a devotee consciousness. Consciousness does not work like that. It is purification. It will happen gradually. So kalena atmani bindati. If you look at that word, just meditate on that word. That why Prabhupada said like this. It will take time. Krishna is assuring that this will definitely happen. Will start relishing within oneself. Sometimes devotees feel that I am practicing Krishna consciousness for 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades. I'm not able to give up my sense gratification. I won't say the name. One Prabhupada's disciple told me, frankly, very nice friend, who is a good friend of mine. He said, I married 3 times. I'm still so attracted. I'm 68. What should I do? Of course, I suggested him, but I'm not going to say. Oh, I can tell you, it's not a problem. But I won't say the name. I said, you have to do something. I did. I had a worse than you. I was a lusty man. I am being honest to you. But if you actually do these 3 things, foot wash water of those devotees in our movement. I did to Jayadvaita Maharaj. He didn't want to allow me. I said, Maharaj, if you don't do it, you'll see me going to hell and I'll stay here forever. So Maharaj allowed. There are many devotees here in our movement who actually cross that border. They are never disturbed anymore. You have to wash. I said, he's your god brother, but I don't know if you'll allow, but you can try. I did it. They allowed me. You wash their feet and drink it. Take their remnants when they eat. Don't think, oh, do they have a COVID-19? All these things, garbage, put aside. If they're pure devotee, just take their remnants. And then the dust. These are very powerful. These are not simple things. So we should not become too much problem conscious. For example, if we find we are doing this too much that, we advance in spiritual life, we will find satisfaction in simple thing. We will not need complex thing to be satisfied. We will not need a big show to be satisfied. That will naturally happen. So do we need to bother too much about it? No. We need not bother about remembering Sri Krishna. If we keep remembering Krishna, we keep getting with Sri Krishna, we'll get higher satisfaction. Just practice 5 minutes. I request everybody, do it for 5 minutes every day. Meditate and think of one sloka, like what it means. Krishna says this, I'm the taste of water. You drink water. I'm not showing off, but I tell you something. When I heard that lecture of Prabhupada, he said, oh, Krishna said, taste of water. Let me take it. And then he took a glass of water. He said, yes, I can see Krishna through the taste. It affected me so much. And since that time, I'm saying it, I see that form of Krishna. Just every time I drink, it's like automatically. But you have to practice slowly, slowly. And it is happening. It's happening. All those devotees who are, so we have to be conscious. So the boils down to this, as devotee, our focus is on Krishna. Our focus is not on our shortcomings. We need to be aware of our shortcomings so that we unnecessarily don't provoke those situations in which shortcoming will catch us and knock us down. For that purpose, we should be aware and we should not be focused on that. That word kalena, over a period of time, purification will happen. Sometimes Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, you cannot get crashed into kingdom of God. That means we cannot force our way to go ahead in spiritual life. In the material world, people try to go ahead by tricky, sneaky, bribing, whatever way. Spiritual entrance, you cannot do that. You have to be thoroughly honest, pure consciousness, simple heart. No cheating, or it's not going to work. So this is very important. We have to keep practicing devotional service diligently. That is required. And after we practice devotional service diligently, sometimes we feel satisfied, sometimes we don't feel satisfied. Sometimes our mind may be pure, sometimes it may not be pure. So we should not get too much caught up. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Make a conviction. You're going to chant, you're going to chant. You're going to do, just do it, Krishna conscious. Whether you mentally feel good or not, don't worry about it. Focusing on that is a problem. We are following process of purification, and purification will definitely result over a period of time. At this stage, we stay steadily committed in devotional service. When we do this gradually, higher taste will start coming more and more. And more will start relishing the higher taste, and other taste will gradually become irrelevant. Not very important for me. Just like this devotee told me, I'm just so much caught with this sense gratification. I said, you're focusing too much on this. That's why. Less focusing on Krishna. You should focus more on Krishna, then this sense gratification idea disappears slowly, slowly. And it will come back. It will hunt you again. You feel like you're not going anywhere. Don't worry. Focus on Krishna. After few attempts, it will disappear. It happened to me. It's a very practical way. So this is true. Everything Krishna says is 100% practical. But we have to focus what Krishna says. Focus on him. And non-existence means they will completely go away for us. Yes, we'll focus on Krishna, and process of devotional service will definitely purify us. Kalena Atmani Bindati. We'll go to the next verse 39.
Can we take question, Prabhu, or should we take later?
Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Param Karuna Prabhu.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Please accept my most humble obeisances, August Prabhupada. Prabhuji, so from your speaking, I understand that only the Lord devotees dust can help us, and we should sincerely beg for it. A very practical question. I was in California this time, and I asked Brigupati Prabhu. He was the only person who allowed me to touch my head on his feet. Vijay Prabhu didn't allow me. He was running away from me. So when we want to sincerely beg and we are concerned about our future that we want, and without that feet dust, we cannot progress. And when they say no to us, then it makes us feel very, very brokenhearted that we are not able to grow because we are totally depending on those people. Then how can we understand and how can we convince those people that Prabhu, the way you convinced Jayadvat Maharaj was extraordinary. I don't know how did you do that because Maharaj never allowed even to make any disciples. So I'm not trying to get information from you that how can you do that, but what should we do in situation that how can we convince sincerely that Prabhu, I need this?
From my practical point, if we keep on trying, for an example, this morning one devotee says that even I don't feel like to pay obeisances to other Vaishnavas. What should I do? I said, you keep on doing it. He said, but then it will become a habit, but it's not going to give me result. I said, no, you will come to a point where you paid obeisances to a person you did not know. That person is so advanced. Because you shown your humble attitude to respect the devotee, he will pray for you and you will see a mystical transformation in your consciousness all of a sudden. So if we keep on trying, even they say no, or whatever situation, we should not give up. That we are seeking mercy of Vaishnava. One Vaishnava all of a sudden will have that feeling and you will transform your consciousness at that moment. Now when it will happen, only Krishna knows and you endeavor. But it will happen, Prabhu. We have to keep on trying to try to connect Krishna through the devotee instead of directly connecting with Krishna. Prabhupada created this society, a assembly of Vaishnavas. So our connection to Krishna should not be directly, always. It's holy name, yes, holy name we are chanting, but in between Guru is there. But we should connect, try to connect. Like you're distributing books, Prabhu, you are one of the biggest book distributor in America, I know for sure. And when you're distributing books, you are actually connecting Krishna through this soul. that this soul belongs to Krishna, I need to help him to come back. So you are seeing actually Krishna's presence in that soul, in that body as a soul. So in that action, one day you will be surprised. Krishna could appear himself and take the book. An entire journey is over. One of the person who got the book from you could become a Mahabhagavat, and you get the credit of it. Nityananda Prabhu says this. Dastari loivo hami punna hobe kam. Everything you do in Krishna consciousness, Nityananda Prabhu says, I take a note. So we have to keep on trying. That's what I see practically, and it happens.
Yes, Prabhu, and I think it is a great explanation. Just a single follow-up question. So when we're trying to get a mercy, first of all, Prabhu, thanks for making me understand. And I honestly want to say to you that I have no idea who is Krishna. My only hope is devotees of Krishna, and I don't care if I don't get Krishna. My only hope is if I get mercy of devotee, I'll be happy in my life for 10 million more life. But since we're trying to get mercy and mercy doesn't come, should we take it this way that we don't have that pious Sukruti? That the Vaishnavas are allowing us to touch his feet, or Merchant doesn't allow to touch his, take a dust?
Possible. That's good attitude. That I'm not qualified, I cannot get. I mean, Madai tried all this logic. Jogai did the same thing I did. Why Jogai got mercy, I didn't get? Good logic is like a lawyer. We did all the sinful activity together. Why Jogai got? Jagada, you got it, I'm not getting it. All this logic is not useful. Because Mahaprabhu did not tell him that, oh, you are qualified because you both did sinful activity together. Now Jogai got delivered. But why Jogai got delivered? Because he was serving Nityananda Prabhu. He told Madai, don't hurt him. So he wanted to respect the Vaishnava and Mahaprabhu's associate. That draws the attention of Mahaprabhu. Not that they did sinful activity together. That was not a qualification. So it's very nice. Yes, we keep on doing, we'll get it, Prabhu, for sure, we'll get it. Just keep on trying, Prabhu, and pray for us too.
Thank you.
Sarvat, thank you. Sarvatarak, Prabhu, you have something to say? You have a raised hand.
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Actually, how I can offer my gratitude to you. Your class is like copy of Srila Prabhupada. So also I'm getting association of from Karuna Prabhu. So my like a small question. Also Prabhupada mentioned, you are mentioning also same thing. Once we get the higher test, then we'll forget the material attachment or test or material attraction.
Yes.
But all the time, like for me, I don't know other devotees. Like when I in material world, we try to, or I try to enjoy more material things when I get good job or making more money, or the practical way, or any other material things, we get more attraction than chanting or doing more devotional service. So and also many devotees also surrounding here, our movement also we see. So we don't feel we are getting higher test. Therefore also personally, me always I'm entangling in like the material attraction. So how we can practically actually like we can experiment that mode. How long it will take?
Well, your question is very valid, very sweet, but at the same time, I may not agree 100%, because I see there are a lot of devotees who are actually relation. I mean, I'm not an advanced devotee, I'm still a neophyte, but still I see that even if you give me $10 million, I'm not going to go back to material activities. That taste is lost. I don't have any desire for it, neither I see within my heart. So process is working. Definitely process is working. Because testing machine is inside. Testing machine is inside us. So I am convinced 100% that Krishna consciousness is ultimate goal. There is no question. And material sense gratification, even if somebody gives me $1 billion, I'm not interested. I can use it for Krishna, but not for me. I don't have any taste for it. I don't want to. Not that I cannot enjoy it, but I don't want to. There is a what you call craving. That sensation is lost by the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna chanting. So there are many devotees actually advancing, sincerely advancing in the movement. Many, many, many.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But
Definitely.
due to your humbleness, you are saying it. You are also advancing, Prabhu. If you would ask me 10 years back, or even 8 years back, certain time I was going through, it was difficult to convince actually Krishna consciousness is higher taste or not. I was going back and forth. I was thinking, no, we need a sense gratification also. Can't just think that is higher. We hear it, but not convinced. Because there is a clearing stage, it's very difficult. And the only way we can come out by the good association of those who actually crossed it. By their association. Because they are conviction, they have conviction. They have determination. They don't give up. Because they are tasting something. It is not possible soul can stay without tasting something. What is that verse? It's a very simple, small verse. Prabhupada put this in a purport many places. Jiva Sukhanneshi. Jiva Sukhanneshi. It's a simple, you can almost understand. Sukha Anneshi means always pleasure seeking by nature. You cannot give up pleasure seeking by nature. So either I am tasting Krishna consciousness or I am tasting material. You cannot give up. We are not a piece of wood, have no feeling. No, it's not possible. But due to your humbleness, Prabhu, you are asking for everybody else. Thank you.
Give your
Thank you.
blessings so I can overcome.
You already
Yes.
did, Prabhu. You please pray for me. I'll pray for you too. Should we do one more verse? Time is up. Just one more verse.
Yes,
Let's
Prabhu.
do.
Yes, so much nectar.
39. We'll just do 39 together. And from the audience, somebody can read who is there. Sandy. I don't know who is Sandy. Radhesham. Or Mother Neha can do it. Or Shreya Kariradhar. Someone. Okay. The question on 39. We are going to read the sloka first. Together. Shraddhava labhate genam tatpara samjata indriya genam labdha param santim achirena adhigacchati. So the question I made, Srila Prabhupada translated, a faithful man who is absorbed in transcendental knowledge, who subdues his senses, quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Okay, here is the answer. The question we discussed. How can one become faithful? That's first. Second, how can one be absorbed in spiritual knowledge? When our lifestyle, or American lifestyle, I put, is hectic, busy with the school, children, job, family, how we are going to practically do it? That's the question. Okay, can somebody help me from the audience to read the translation and purport?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Sandy. What is your name, Mata?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My name is Sandy. I'm from Orlando.
Oh, Orlando. Thank you for joining. Yes, Mata, go ahead.
Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation first.
Okay, translation. A faithful man who's dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attained the supreme spiritual peace.
Purport. Such knowledge in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by a faithful person who believes firmly in Krishna. One is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, which cleanses one heart of all material dirt. Over and above this, one should control the senses. A person who is faithful to Krishna and who controls the senses can easily attain perfection in the knowledge of Krishna consciousness without delay. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mata. So in these words, we see concluding part 4 chapter entitled Transcendental Knowledge. This last section is glories of transcendental knowledge. And this is what it is boils down to. Here it says, Saddhavan, a person who is faithful. Labhate Gyanam, that person, I like this word-to-word meaning also. It has a very deep meaning. Labhate Gyanam, that person acquires knowledge. So this, the faithful acquire knowledge. Try to understand. Who is acquire knowledge? Faithful only. If you say, I don't remember, means your faith is shaking. We can do also negative way to think. Why do I don't retain? I don't understand. Because faith is less. Everybody can chant. Yes. Why not everybody chanting? Because everybody don't have a faith. As simple as this. Then who is chanting? Whoever has a faith. It's a simple, very simple way to look at it. Those who are chanting means they have a faith. You don't need to ask them if they have a faith or not. They have a faith. Otherwise, why they're chanting? And those who are not chanting means they don't have a faith. Similarly here, so the faithful acquires knowledge. Is faith alone enough? That is a question I'm asking. No, along with faith, there are two more things Krishna says here. Faith alone is not enough. Tatpara, he says, one who is dedicated, one who is devoted. One who is attached to it, tat. Samjata indriye, one who has regulated his senses. Then one does this, one acquire knowledge. So in these three things, having faith, three things, I hope everybody got it, is attached and being materially regulated, then what will happen? Jnanam labdha param santim. Then after one acquires jnana, knowledge, one acquires supreme peace, param santi. So achirena adhigacchati, last word. Achirena means not long time, soon. Adhigacchati, one will get peace. So let's put together what do we understand. In previous verse, we remember kaleno, the word, is used, which means in due course of time, we talked about. Now, Arjuna wonder, how long it will take for me to get it? This is happening in battlefield, that discussion. Will it take many, many lifetimes? So here, Sri Krishna is expressing, Achirena, it will not take long time. It take a due course of time. It is not infinite. Achirena, soon it will happen. Another point Sri Krishna makes is once we get knowledge, peace will follow. So when peace comes? After the knowledge. Everybody understand? Peace is not coming separate. It's not a separate part of the knowledge. It is like a one follows another. So once you are situated in spiritual platform, then peace, then what? Bliss quickly follows. So first, knowledge will come, then peace will come behind it, and then happiness will come behind it. Three things we can remember. First is knowledge, then peace, then happiness, bliss. Good. Situating on spiritual platform is challenging. Another point in this verse I also saw. Krishna is saying the faithful will acquire knowledge. what exactly is the relationship between faith and knowledge? When you think of faithful will get knowledge. So knowledge and faith, is there a connection? Naturally our thought comes. Some devotee think if they study scripture, more faith will increase. Some devotee thinks it's true. It's nothing wrong. I'm just stating what I do investigate sometimes. I ask Pushkar, I said, more you study, you think your faith is? He said, why not? I said, okay, I'm just asking. So some people think that more we study, more we read, more we memorize, then faith will increase. Some other devotee think, if I ask question and it is answered, then faith will increase. That is also true. Some devotee thinks, I have a doubt, I have a problem. If somebody remove the doubt, now my faith is better. Okay. Normally we think the knowledge increases faith. But here Sri Krishna says that, I want you to open 4.10. I'll come to that point. Sri Krishna says faith increases knowledge. So what exactly is the cause? What is the effect? The relationship between the two is symbiotic. Initially, we need to have some faith. Ado Shraddha. In 4.10, we discuss 9 stages of bhakti in purport, where Srila Prabhupada has mentioned, first is Shraddha, first is faith. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad also said in the purport, you'll see that sloka. What Sri Krishna is saying, that spiritual life begins with faith, Shraddha. Shraddhava labate jnana. Similarly, when we go to spiritual master, we should have some faith. Okay, this person is practicing spirituality for some time. This person will be having some knowledge, more knowledge than me. Come on, be honest. When you go to a sannyasi or advanced devotee, you think like that. He must know more than me. We think, it's practically I'm saying. So let me have some faith, inquire. With that, we start faith. Then we get knowledge. Did you get the psychology behind it? When you approach a senior devotee, what do you think about him? Well, he knows more than me. You don't tell him or you don't tell anybody, but in your mind you think, his advance means he knows more than me. So you have some faith about it. Then when you inquire to him and you converse, and then he gives you some illumination, then knowledge came. So you had a first faith, then knowledge followed. Yes or no? Yes, it's true. Be honest. Okay. Thank you. When faith increases, we'll take up process more seriously and more deeply. That will increase faith further. So the relationship between faith and knowledge is symbiotic. Faith we get knowledge, and knowledge we get faith, both. So here Krishna is saying it is symbiotic, but to start we should have faith. When this will progress, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, on the middle, that sloka, Anartha Nibriti, Nishtha. Nishtha also a fun faith. Nishtha is much deeper faith. In that way, we see the 9th stage, which is Prema. It is also a faith. Faith and Prema, there is no difference. It's the same substance in mature and immature. What do you call grain mango and ripened mango, Prabhupada say. So this is very important. We should think about it. So love is the deepest trust we can have on that person. So all 9 stages of bhakti is progression in prema. Progression of faith. First stage is Shraddha, little faith. 5th stage, Nishtha, strong faith. And 9th stage is pure love, means pure faith. Pure love means pure faith. When we love some person, no question we have full faith in him. Do we have faith in Prabhupada? Say it.
Yes.
Yes. You agree? Yes. So that means when we hear We already know we have faith on Prabhupada. When we hear, we get the knowledge from him. So can you see the faith actually? Knowledge is following the faith. And then you have now more faith than before. So it's very interesting how it progresses. When we have little faith, we associate with devotee. They tell us to chant. We start chanting. So bhajana kriya happens. Then anartha nibriti happens. When anartha nibriti happens, we become purified. We see for ourselves the practical benefit of what we are practicing. At that time, we develop a deeper faith. Just like if we are taking a treatment, doctor gave you medicine. You're taking medicine, after a few days, you feel better. What happened? Your faith is increased. And you're trusting. So similarly, it cures me, it improves my health, then it naturally deepens our faith. If somebody say, is this doctor good? What are you going to say? Yes. Before you could not say yes, you say, yeah, I think so, maybe something like that. But it cured you, so you say boldly, yes, yes, he's good doctor. From practical. So naturally, it makes us feel that yes, it works. When I'm bold, I ask myself why I'm bold about on this bhakti process, because I experience it. It's working. What it says, it delivers. So I'll try this more, then faith will come more. So Krishna is telling the whole process of organic faith begins with Shraddha. Now, Shraddha alone, I'm just thinking, maybe I'll just make it into short, summarize what I spoke so far. Various aspects of knowledge in Krishna consciousness. I want everybody to remember 4 things, very important. I made a little note. 1, some aspects strike us as true on first hearing. Initially, we may be suffering, but people around us say that don't leave your fighting spirit. Enjoy life. Cheers. You'll see people say that when you're depressed or something. Then we read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, come to know that this world is dukkhalayam asashratam. Then we realize that yes, it is true. Knowing, just experiencing is not enough. When you see the Bhagavad Gita also supports your experience, then say, yes, this world is terrible. So when we hear that mind is our enemy and it pulls us down, then it strikes us. Yes, mind is the enemy inside me. This is one aspect of spiritual knowledge. You got it? Second, so first thing is what I mentioned about the mind and that experience. Second is something we understand as a truth after contemplation and discussion. What is that? I'm not the body, but not soul. I'm not body, but not soul. Am I hand, nerve, stomach? Who is one who is experiencing? The source of consciousness is different, which is soul. Because when you say, I'm not this body, a lot of beginning new fight devotee don't know how to, okay, I'm not this body, then where am I? Who am I? It's like a very nice one, Mataji, we had a heavy class one time in somebody's house in Miami. And I said, we're not this body. This is the first thing you really have to. So she said, can I ask you a question? I said, yes. Whose body am I? Wow. Whose body? Means we cannot find anything else. If you say, I'm not this body, I'm lost. Wait, I'm not this body, then who am I? Whose body? Because they cannot find it. It's a fact, being honest to you. I had that same problem also, long time back. So we have to think that we are conscious being, and you search through the consciousness. Then you say, oh, I see. The soul is unit of consciousness, separate from the body. There is a little itching on my toes. My hand going there. How? Because I'm aware, conscious. Oh, I'm aware. That awareness is me, not the body, that awareness. Oh, I can think, wow. Charles Berkeley, the scientist, he said, I can think, therefore I am. Oh, many other scientists also claim that that's their opinion. It's okay. We are not against it. The third point, something we realize after years of practice and purification. What is it? How Gopi's love for Krishna was spiritual, not material. Believe me, some devotee thinks, but there are also girls. I mean, there are girls just like Matajis of this world. You know, like they cannot comprehend how it is spiritual, how to understand spiritual. I hope everybody remembers there's two ways. One is compositional sense, another is application sense, how you utilize. So here, Gopi's love for Krishna was spiritual, not material. How is Krishna's love for Gopis is transcendental and pure? When we see Gopis as devotees and Krishna as supreme God, God as form of Paramatma is always present with us in our most private moment also. As the Lord Ram embraced Hanuman, similarly, Krishna can embrace Gopis. Try to see from that angle. Because otherwise, I'm a man, I think, even though I said I'm not this body, but I'm the man, background of my consciousness, I'm the man. When you see a woman, you feel attraction. Krishna loves Gopis, is spiritual. How to understand? Try to think like Ram, his Supreme Lord. Who is Hanuman? You don't feel any material there. Okay, Ram is God. Hanumanji is his devotee. Okay, he embraced. Think like these gopis are like devotee. Krishna is Supreme God. Not like a young boy and girl. Even though it is there, that example is given, but sometimes mind does not take it. So the form is also important, and there is a rasha also involved, but it is beyond material. Try to start somewhere to think. Sense gratification always leads to miseries because it is not in our nature, and it makes us distant from spirituality. That is the problem. More sense gratification, less spiritual we are. And I'll end with this last 4 point. Some we may never understand. Like what? Why soul rebel against God? I spoke to this professor. So you are in a war against God. He said, no, Govind, I'm not. I said, I'm not against God. I said, let me ask you. Did you offer the food you ate today to God before you ate? He said, no. Why? Why do I have to do that? I earn money. I work hard and I bought with my own money. I said, look at what Krishna says, 529. What did he say? Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is very nice, kind, loving friend. But something he said you have to do before. What is this? Bhuktaram. You start seeing that he is the enjoyer before you enjoy your food. But Govind, I work hard for that. I said, you are challenging with him. This attitude is a challenging. You cannot see that God is the enjoyer, not you. He said, but I work hard. I said, I know. This is where the ego is situated. It's mine. I work hard. I should enjoy this apple. I paid for it, Prabhu. Why can't I enjoy it? Why do I have to offer or give somebody else before? This is called karmi, rebellious. And Krishna says you will never get peace if you think like you don't want to give, offer him. Because he is eternally situated. You cannot see the picture that Krishna is eternally bhokta. He is the enjoyer for everything. Whether you give or not, he is the enjoyer. Whether you accept or not. Jagatapasam. Everything you do is for his pleasure. But you're doing for you. You are enjoying. So the same apple. Okay, I'll end with this. One apple, one guy is thinking, this professor thought, as he said, I work hard with my money, I'm buying this apple, I'm going to enjoy. They are called materialists. Another person saying, this is apple, God created, okay, for me to eat, I'll eat. These are not devotee. Even though he recognized God, creator, these are called spiritualists, you can say, impersonalists, Mayavad, so many groups, yogi, there are so many religious persons. But they don't offer to God. They recognize, okay, they will not suffer, but they will not go to spiritual world either. But the person who did not offer or did not recognize, he will suffer. Even though he earned his own money, he may think, he will suffer. But the third category is the devotee. Same apple. Krishna created the apple, thinking of the impersonalist idea also, same. But it belongs to him. I should offer him, and then I will honor as a prasad. That is called devotee. They will go, live eternally with God and enjoy life. The karmi will suffer, go to hell. The jnani who recognized but did not offer, do any service, they will not suffer, but they will not go anywhere. Limbo, merging or whatever. So I'll end here. Thank you, dear devotees, for tolerating me and allowing me to serve you all. Is there any feedback? Anybody has anything feedback? Just one, at least one or two reflection. Mother Neha, you are so dedicated. Since we opened the Zoom, you're always there. Can you say something? What are you going to take away from this session today?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, and I just learned that this material life is, it just, body is going to go away, soul is more important. So we have to do something good so that we may get our new life will be, when we leave this body, our other body will be, wherever we are, will be a little bit better.
That's true. Very good. I hope you understood the apple example.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you tell me who are the three categories? It's a very simple example. One person, he's thinking, I work hard. I bought with my money this apple. I'm going to enjoy. His name is Mr. Karmi. You ever heard the word Karmi? Means materialist. His name is Mr. Karmi, and he has to go to hell for it. Even though he worked hard, he can put all this logic, doesn't matter. The second person, he recognized that this is a God creation. God created everything, the apple also. But he does not offer it to God. He does not do any service to God. He recognized he will not suffer, but he will not go to spiritual world either. And there is a third category, devotee, who will see the apple. He says, Krishna created such a unique, wonderful. So I'll cut the apple, offer to the Lord. And then he's eating. All three are eating. But consciousness behind the eating, giving three different location, destiny. One going to hell, one will stay in limbo, not suffering, not going spiritual. Another will go to spiritual. Is that clear, Mother?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Krishna.
Anyone else? Otherwise, we'll stop here. Okay. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Pancha kalpataruvesya kripa sindhuveva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anantaguri Vaishnavindaki
Namaste.
jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki